Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music, where today I shall be speaking to the wonderful Francis, spelt individually because too many other people have nicked the other way of spelling it. So she has a uniqueness to the spelling of her name, but that's useful for you because it means that you can now go and find her on the interweb and then enjoy her music, which is the whole purpose of this. We'll be back to talk to Francis and find out a little story about how I discovered her as well straight after this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Francis, hello. Thank you for doing this with me. Now, what we shall do to introduce you to the world is recreate the happy scene from the other week where I was in London. I was at Waterloo Station. I was on my way back from a exhibition stroke event at the XL, which is a short hop and a skip from Waterloo down the DLR or the Elizabeth line. And so having been there, I got back to Waterloo and I was actually a good hour early for my train, which is a happy coincidence because and I don't know whether you spotted, it was a bit of an interesting day at Waterloo as well. You were at Waterloo and you were playing people lovely songs with your guitar and singing most beautifully. But it was an interesting day because it was also a day when Marks and Spencer's, one of the main shops at Waterloo Station, were in the middle of that suffrage of they'd had a cyber attack. I don't know whether you've seen that, right?
No.
And
I know loads of people have been having that, haven't they? So
right.
it's like,
and so, you know, commonly lots of people would go into Marks and Spencer's, other shops are available, to get snackages and stuff to eat on the trains. But they had completely sold out of most things. Or when I say sold out, they couldn't actually get any supplies of most things. So whereas there were normally hundreds of thousands of packets of Colin the Caterpillars and Percy Pigs and whatever, it was all completely empty. And so there were lots of disgruntled people at Waterloo Station at the time. So it was a good job that Francis was there because she cheered everybody up.
I didn't even know that.
Well, I think that should be a news story. We should put it out there that actually you probably averted like a national disaster where millions of people at Waterloo Station got really angry and started attacking other people.
Yeah.
By making them all happy again.
Oh, good. So I settled down a potential riot. I'll take that. I'll take it.
Let's put that out as a press release. Anyway,
let's do it.
So I'm wandering up the stairs. Francis is there. She's got that lovely little spot under the stairs, which leads up to the sort of upper floor level where there's some nice restaurants and a few very expensive shops. And you were singing. Can you remember what song you were singing?
I can't remember what song I was singing when you walked past because, I'm there for like about 2 hours. So I get through quite a bit of material.
Okay.
No, you tell me what I was singing.
Well, we did have a conversation about it afterwards, but I'll remind you. So she was singing at the time. She was singing the wonderful Cranberries song.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which she's going to play a little bit of now. No pressure, right?
Yeah. Why not?
So this is what happened. I'm coming up the stairs, and this is what I hear.
I'll do the chord, shall I?
Yeah. You do the chord. Cool.
What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey.
Oh, fantastic! So the wonderful zombie by the
It's a good
Cranberries was
song.
coming out, and I just had to stop and I filmed a moment of it, and then later in the day we kind of connected over that, and now she is here. So there you go.
Lovely.
Why that? Why did you choose that song? Because it's got such a great song. I think it's quite indicative of underground stations at Waterloo and Bank and whatever. It did to me. Do you know what? You know that bit where when you're at Waterloo Station,
Yeah.
and then when you're at Waterloo and then you go down that slope and then you get that train that goes from Waterloo to Bank.
Right. Yeah.
That feels like the zombie apocalypse. That feels like. Do you know what I mean? The way that people go down that slope, it's like. And
I
they
get
almost
it.
walk like something out of The Walking Dead down into that area, and I often imagined when I used to have to do it on a regular basis that it's like the gates of hell down there, and then everybody gets incinerated. Where they actually get on the train and then they come out at the other end of the
I
bank.
know what you mean, and the lighting as well is kind of like something out of like The Last of Us or something like. So it kind of all has a vibe, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Especially
the lights do that kind of.
yeah. It's creepy. It's creepy. No, I get what you mean. I feel that way about a lot of stations in London, to be fair. I think when that's one of my impatience of like London life, especially when I've got all my stuff with me. I'm going to a gig, is like just people not moving fast enough when they could be.
Yeah.
But then there are tourists, and I try and be as like, you know.
Do you think that's one of the reasons why that song? I mean, I've seen some other very famous buskers, right, who are doing really well with their career, do that song as well. Do you think that's one of the reasons why that is quite a popular sort of song, if you can actually sing it, because it's quite difficult? Do you think it's quite a popular song with sort of like, train stations and that kind of commercial area? Because in a way,
people love it. It's like one of the best ones to do, like in terms of getting people singing along. I think it's because it's got like what you want to do with especially like busking songs or just sing along songs. What I've found is like really powerful anthemic songs that have a really easy chorus or something.
One word.
The same kind of concept of like what's up, and I said hey yeah, like it's like literally the hey, and then they can join in on that, and then that's like people can just get involved really easily. So those two songs I think are really good ones to do.
I love that. It's true. It's absolutely true. And that's the thing when you're writing music these days as well. That's kind of almost what you're looking for in any kind of song as well, anyway, because if you're going to put stuff out on Spotify and whatever, people's listening habits are such that they're probably going to, slide through, and they're looking for that kind of 20 seconds that is going to resonate in their head. So, you're kind of looking for that. Moment.
I suppose with those two songs as well, they have quite a strong like political message behind them in the verses, which gets people in and gives them a bit of like right on power, and then the chorus is really anthemic and easy to pick up. So maybe that's like the golden ticket of a great song, is to kind of combine those two elements. Maybe, who knows?
It's
but
definitely
for those two.
It's definitely the way to go. Yeah. I just feel like, just get a simple word in there. What you'll notice is that actually, if you've got a lot of words in your song and it's really complex, that people, if they do know if they know the song, even if the song's really, really great, right, in the verses, they probably only know one word. Right. And then what you'll get from people, and you probably notice this, is that the head goes down and they sort of, and then their head comes up for the one word that they know.
Yeah. And then they just kind of make up. I suppose it also at gigs, it depends how drunk people are. Because if they're they've got like some drinks down them, they'll just make it up. And it's like, fair enough. Like, just vibe with it. Like, like the start of it. What's a song like that? Oh, like Breakfast at Tiffany's. Well, I said, what about breakfast? And then nobody knows the rest of it, and then they just and then they just kind of and it's quite funny to, it's great people watching, being a musician sometimes, just watching the same kind of patterns of behavior from
I
like loads of,
know.
yeah,
I know. Years ago when I used to go clubbing, like,
yeah,
well, actually before, like I actually then DJ'd and did like club music. I
yeah.
always went to sort of like indie clubs back in the 90s and stuff.
Oh,
And
lovely.
and that's what they played. They played stuff like the Pixies and
Yeah.
REM and the Cure, and that's what we had at clubs. And one of the most obvious ones that always sticks in my head is "It's the End of the World as We Know It" by REM.
I love REM. Oh, what a banger.
Great song. But there's the thing is, everybody knows the chorus. It's the end of the world. So everyone would be singing that, right? But then the verses are really quite fast. So it's like da, 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 da. And
Oh,
then
it's that. Yeah, yeah.
right. And the only word that anyone ever knew was Leonard Bernstein. So it'd be Leonard Bernstein, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was it.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. But people like that kind of like, I suppose it's kind of like a mix of like the artistry of like a band and then something that they can latch on to. So they admire
Absolutely.
the artistry, but then they need something that they, yeah, because you're not, unless you're like a super fan, you're not going to learn all of those lyrics to that song. Because REM are quite a wordy band anyway, right? Like, so I
Right.
love them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Everybody Murders when the day is now.
Yeah.
Everybody murders that song. Everybody.
I've
Absolutely
never
everybody.
I've never done it just because I just think that some songs are better left to the person. I think Michael Stipe has such an unique voice that just suits that song so well. I mean, I could, but I don't know. I
His
do try.
voice is so fragile, isn't it? When he
Yeah, and it's
sings
so
that song.
unique. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just like him singing it, and it's very easy to do, kind of like a like a Beyonce version where you put loads of runs in and make it like that. Like I suppose the same as like Hallelujah. It's very
Oh,
easy to do kind of um a really kind of not operatic version of it, but
no, but
really,
I know what you mean. There was that whole
yeah.
period during the sort of
I find
like
it a bit cringy.
early sort of 2000, probably 2005, 2010, something like that, when Alexandra Burke did it for
Yeah,
X Factor and whatever. But everybody was doing a version of Hallelujah, and
yeah,
it was very big, very grand, or whatever. And then as people do with music, then they started to discover like the original, right,
yeah.
and realize, whoa. I mean, the original is so interesting in that it's
Mhm.
almost camp in a way.
Which one are we talking about? Because
I'm
is it
talking
Jeff? Are you talking about Jeff Buckley? Because what's
no,
the original
I'm
original?
talking about Leonard Cohen's version of it.
Leonard Cohen, right?
The
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
original version. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
Jeff Buckley's version, which is probably like what most people see as the definitive version of it,
yeah,
right, is really emotive
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
etc. But the original version, it's almost camp. It's kind of tongue in cheek. It's not,
yeah,
but and it's so different from that,
yeah,
and but that's a beautiful thing about music itself, isn't it? That you can
yeah.
interpret it in different ways. When you go to put together a cover version of a song for performing it
Hmm.
in somewhere like Waterloo Station, how much of it do you try and bring you into it, and then how much of it do you make sure that people recognize it? Do you know what I mean? How, because it's an interesting balancing act, that.
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what? I don't really think about it too much, but what my kind of my process has always been with covers is if I don't know the song at all and I'm just like, oh, I need to know what this melody goes like or whatever, like I'll listen to it 2 or 3 times and then do it, so I know it well enough to have the gist of it, but I'm not copying exactly. And there's things that you'll do that you'll just naturally do, and you'll bring your own like take on it, your musicianship to it. And I think it gives it a fresh take, because I'm not, no crap to anyone who does, like, but I just don't like doing things exactly as they were, because I prefer doing my own original stuff anyway. But if I do covers, I kind of like to make it interesting for myself as well, so I don't like learn note for note exactly how. And I think by doing that process, people say, but people like at gigs and stuff do say, oh yeah, I love that song and I love what you did with it. So it is like, I must be doing something right for them to still know what it is, be able to sing along, but also comment on the different take of it. So it's not a process I think about too much, but it's obviously working, so I'll just let it do its own thing.
Oh no,
You know, that
absolutely.
makes sense.
I had a singer on. Well, it will be last week by the time this goes out, but
Yeah.
called Alice, who again, she's got an amazing voice like yourself, and she puts a real definite, because of her voice as well, she puts a real definite spin on any kind of cover that she does.
Yeah.
And she was mentioning the fact that, that you know, sometimes when she plays songs, she gets people coming up, probably especially after they've had a drink or two, and they go,
Yeah.
you didn't sing that right.
No,
Yeah,
people say that.
I know.
I would
I,
do the finger, but like it's you know, it's afternoon, but
do you know what I mean? But I
that's
have heard that, like when I've been to, you know, like an evening out or whatever, and it's a cover band or whatever. I've heard that before now, where people go, "You ain't doing it right. That guitar part's
um,
slightly different." It's like you just, and as I was saying to her on the show, I was saying, "Look, if that's what people want, just go and buy the CD and sit at home and listen to it."
100%, bless her. Yeah,
Honestly,
don't take that. But yeah, I suppose it's the same as like, do you know when you go and see? My dad always used to say this actually because he's like a musician as well, and he used to say like if he goes to see a band and they do things, even the band who's written the stuff, if they do things exactly like it is on the album, he's a bit like disappointed. He wants to see a new spin on it because like that's what you're going to see. It's fun when they put little differences in there, and you know things are meant to keep yeah, they're meant to evolve, they're not meant to stay the same. Yeah, I think it'd be very boring if everyone was just doing, imagine like everyone doing exactly the same version of like, you know, Hallelujah in every pub you went to, everyone was doing it exactly the same. It's like that's not a world I want to live in, that's not like a pub I want to go to, you know.
I've just
That's
had
my
a
opinion though.
I've just had a really great marketing idea. I run a marketing business.
Go
I've
on.
just had a really great marketing idea
Yeah.
whilst we were talking about this. And if
Fantastic.
anybody out there who runs a record company, I might get in touch with a few of them, wants to do this, I think this is a great idea. Of course, you know, it's going to probably take a little while because you're going to have to, you know, sort out the royalties and all of that sort of thing. But years ago, I was involved with a charity based in Bristol that were raising money for helping people that were on the streets. Okay. And we got some fairly big names involved. And there were there was an album put out, and it was, there were quite a number of cover versions on that. I think it'd be really great if we could actually create maybe a TV documentary about young musicians like yourself who go and do busking or go and go down the pubs and whatever, and you know, are doing like cover versions of songs, but are also releasing your own music,
Mhm.
and realize that, you know, the kind of like why people need to do this, because it's, you know, and then if we could put together an album, right, of cover versions, but with different artists from the streets at the moment. And we call it something like From the Streets. It'd just be marvelous. And I think that
Yeah.
could actually be a wonderful Christmas present for everybody. And probably would go to number one.
I
So
think so. I think there's something nice in that. And I think a lot of people love busking. A woman came up to me the other day, and sometimes when you're busking, you do get the odd, you get all kind of spectrums of society. So you get like the people who are just absolutely lovely and so encouraging. Then you get the other end of the spectrum sometimes, and you get some nasty people. But she came up to me, and the way she kind of, she was like, can I say something to you? And the way she said it was like, I thought she was going to say something nasty. So I was kind of getting a bit ready to be like,
really,
have my back up. And then she was like, there's nothing that busking doesn't make better. And I was like, that's so lovely to just like say, then she tipped, but like, it's so lovely of you to say that, because like being a musician sometimes and busking and stuff, like good days, bad days, sometimes if you're having a bad day and people just come up to you and say something like that, it really does mean the world to you. But it does go to show as well how much people like really appreciate it and would probably love something like that, because in London especially, as you said, like it makes people's commutes better if they hear someone they really like. Then it does brighten their day. Like even if people like, I don't even care like if people don't tip and stuff, if I see someone like walk past and they smile or they sing along, it really like, it's kind of like you're intrinsically linked, and you've kind of got it brings people together. So I think an idea like that, I think more people than you'd think would be interested in buying that CD.
I think millions would. I think
Yeah.
it would outsell every other pathetic Christmas release if we released it
Yeah.
at Christmas. I think it would be marvelous, and maybe actually we could donate all the money to a charity, and then but it would be a great opportunity to highlight some great talent that's out there.
Yeah, from the streets for the streets, and then you could do a homeless charity.
Yes,
There you go.
let's do it. How long
Let's
have you
do
been?
it.
How long have you been doing this, Francis?
I've been like a full-time musician for like about 5 years. So that's like gigs, private gigs, festivals, busking, like basically just trying to do as much as possible, fingers in a lot of pies. Like during COVID, I did quite a bit of like remote like songwriting work of like all genres, so like from musical theatre to like metal. That was really fun, a really fun way to kind of pass the time, make some money, and just develop my skills really. So I try and do as much as possible and kind of keep breaking out of like comfort zones as well. I think is really important, because you never want to be too comfortable, because then you just won't progress. But yeah, I've done like quite a lot of stuff, and yeah, just trying to keep doing more and more interesting things really.
Well, what the people now want to know, having met you and your rubber plant, no, it's a real one, isn't it?
It's real. Yeah, I love plants.
It's
Like,
not a fake plastic watering can or a rubber plant. It's a real one. Thanks, Radiohead. What they want to know now is, what are you working on right now?
So I went to the studio recently with working on some stuff at home. So I work with a guitarist, Alex, electric guitarist and like soundscaping, that I kind of write with. But we're kind of going down a new road at the moment where we kind of try and self-produce a bit more. Obviously,
Nice.
I like the full band sound, so we'll always have to do drums in the studio because this is a rented flat and I can't just put a full kit in here and record and
Sorry!
yeah.
Sorry!
And expect my neighbours to be cool with it, because I won't be cool with it. But as much as we can do, so we're kind of going down that road. But yeah, we've got some stuff that we did in the studio, and we're just kind of adding to that and doing the finalized bits, sending off for mixing soon. So there will be there's some releases on the horizon, and yeah, just kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
let's just tease people. Do you have maybe like 2 chords from a new song? Just literally.
I can play the chorus of like the next one that I intend to release.
Let's do
even better.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I made my bed, you build the nightchest. My name engraved, you say to all the changes I claim. Still this record plays again, so I'm the one who fades in shame. There you go.
Nice. That chord progression's got a real Pixies vibe to it.
Oh my god, it has. It has. I haven't thought about that, but yeah. It's kind of it's like that major minor shift.
Yeah.
Very Pixies. But yeah, so working on that one at the moment, and that's the first one that will be released. But we're just making sure everything's like you know.
Has
Could be.
that got a name to it?
Shame.
No, it's not. It's great.
That'll be the joke. That'll be the tag.
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah. Right.
Very happy song.
Yes. That's a great name. That's a great name for a song. And I think yeah, I think I can see the t-shirt right now that goes with the song. And it's just like it's a photo of you on the t-shirt just crying.
What's better?
And with the word shame over the top.
Yeah.
If you would buy that out there, if you would like to buy a t-shirt of Francis's face with the word shame over the top of it,
crying,
her eyes out,
profusely.
an incredibly emotive t-shirt that you can wear to work and upset people with, make them feel the shame.
Yeah.
Of that, then that would be good. And also we would love when that gets released as well. We would love everybody to comment on a post that goes out and talk about their most shameful moment.
Yeah, that's great.
In fact, actually, let's go a step further than this, because this is what we need to do, right? What we need people to do, folks, is I'd like you to record on video and then send it to Francis, you talking about your most shameful moment. And what she will do is she'll put that together as like a little video montage of people talking about their most shameful moment, kind of interspersed with the song coming in and out. And that may end up as kind of an artsy video to go with the whole thing. And you'll all be in it.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
That's amazing. Yeah, please do that. I'm really down for that. Let's do it. Let's make it a thing.
Let's
make it a thing. Let's get people involved.
You don't even have to turn up at any particular place at any particular time to be part of a music video, and you will go down in history, folks. Wow.
There you go.
And then in a few years from now, when Francis is opening up at Wembley Stadium for who knows, then or maybe even like headlining it herself, you'll be able to say, I was in that pop video. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and then you'll get VIP as well, because I'm nice like that. I'll remember.
Absolutely. let's kind of finish on that today. If we can make dreams happen for you, if we could get you a support slot with anyone else in the world at the moment, who would that be?
Alanis Morissette.
Really?
Yeah, cool. Hands down.
Are you going to see her on the tour? Are you going to?
Do you know what? At the time that the tickets were released, and I was really annoyed, the tickets are so expensive. If you want to be anywhere near the front, they're so expensive and not in the God. So I'm going to see if I can get the funds together. But as I said, I'm buying a lot of music equipment at the moment. And I was really gutted because I was like, oh my God. It's like, if you wanted to be in the gods, it was like, like 140, but like if you wanted to be relatively close, it was like 200 plus.
I know.
Ticket.
I'm going to make you jealous. I am going to go and see her.
Oh yeah, you go.
I'm going to go and see her at Cardiff. So yeah, I'm going to say. And someone that's been on this show is doing one of the support slots.
Oh wow!
So look, if I whisper to you, no one's going to hear this bit, okay? If I whisper to you, no one's going to hear this bit, right?
Okay.
But this is. I think this could be how you get in.
Go on.
Right. So there's a lovely young lady called Megan Wynn.
Okay.
Right, who will be supporting at Cardiff. I think she's doing the first slot of the afternoon or whatever. She's really lovely. I have spoken to her recently and said, "Oh, wow, you're doing the Alanis Morissette thing," and she was like, "Yeah," and she may even come back. I think she's going to come back on here soon. But maybe what you should do is you should just like befriend her.
It's always good to know other musicians.
I think you should reach out to Megan Wynn and say, "Oh, Graham mentioned you. By the way, here you've got the Alanis Morissette support slot. That's tremendous, right? Maybe get to be a good friend, and then maybe you could like just volunteer to go and help her on the day, do something. I don't know, guitar tech or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. No one heard that.
You're good with the ideas.
No
You're very good
one
with-
heard that, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right. No one knows.
No one knows.
No
the
one.
trouble I've seen. So, but maybe that. No, in all seriousness, you know, maybe that's a way in. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What a great artist though, Alanis Morissette.
Oh yeah, I love her so much.
Favorite song?
I like What I Really Want. Do you know what I really want is deliverance of Jagged Little Pill? But I like a lot of. There's a lot of the album.
That's got funk to it. That song, isn't it? And it builds really well.
Yeah, because they had Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers did that album, and they had really good musicians on that album as well, which
like
obviously
Taylor
helped.
and
yeah, but
Taylor Hawkins.
Alanis doesn't need the help. She could have made that work, however, but yeah.
No, the production on that album was well ahead of its time.
It's so good.
Well ahead of that time. There is the thing is, I mean, that kind of is every artist's dream. That sort of album is like great from start to finish. To finish. As soon as you put it on, it's like you are brought into her little world at the time, and you just don't get out of it until the album finishes. And and you're kind of left exhausted but exhilarated by listening to that album.
Yeah. It's not like easy listening, but it's just like if you're in it for the energy, you're in it for like you know, like the passion, the kind of ups and downs. Yeah. It's not like a Sunday chill out listen. It's like
I want to know, have you ever put that album on after you've broken up with someone?
I think You Ought to Know is always that song, isn't it? That when you're in that anger stage. So yeah, most probably, most definitely.
I think it's I can only imagine that album has been played as somebody is slamming the door on a relationship more times than most.
Probably.
And I think it gave. Do you know what? I actually think it gave women, in particular, a permission to be that open about.
I think so, and also be that ballsy as well. Like she was just like ballsy that she didn't care. Like she was. I think that's what I love about her. I love all of the nuances of her and what she represents and how good of a musician. Like I respect so much stuff about her, but I think that's the thing that really, I suppose, I was drawn in by is just that kind of like, just the way she sings as well. It's so like she's got a very unique voice, but then also does some weird stuff, and it's like she doesn't care. She's just like having fun, and yeah. Very important at the time, still important now, I think. So
still important as of today.
Yeah,
Francis, you've been an absolute pleasure to talk to.
Oh, I'm glad, Graham.
Little did you know that when you were stood there at Waterloo station strumming away and some stranger was filming you, that you may end up on a podcast. But that's the beauty. I love it. That's the beauty of places like Waterloo station and doing what you do.
It really is. And the beauty of just saying yes to stuff as well.
Just say yes.
Just
folks.
say yes.
Yeah. It's
the opposite of what you're meant to do.
It's the complete opposite of what Grange Hill used to teach us to do years ago, which was just say no.
I'm saying just say yes.
For all of you who are old enough to remember that dreadful song, you're not. But go and Google it after this, because I'm sure it'll be on the old YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Grange Hill, which was a very popular kids' TV program when I was growing up. I think it may still be hanging around, but it was incredibly popular back in the day. And then spawned a whole load of actors that went on into EastEnders. Had this incredible song called "Just Say No," which was to convince us all not to take drugs. It never worked for Keith Richards. There we go. And on that note, the wonderful Francis with an S in the right place, so that you remember her name.
Yeah.
Don't forget. It would be a shame if you forgot her. See what we did? And she will be releasing that sometime soon. And when she does, she would like it if you would contact her with little video footages. And we're going to make a clip from this part of the conversation to kind of let her remind you all. But she'd love it if you would contact her with those little video montages of you talking about your most shameful moments, so that actually you can all go viral together.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be marvelous. We will be back soon with more My Music. Until then, look after yourselves from Francis and me. Bye for now.